Hey, hey, hey. Good afternoon, everybody in the ClapBack universe. It's Jay, the goddess. Yeah, I'm in the back of the cab. I'm in traffic. But, just because we in traffic and we busy, what I'm saying? That don't mean that we gotta, that does not mean, that does not mean that we don't keep our commitments. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the ClapBack. This is the ClapBack. So you here with ClapBack Queens today. I'm going to be talking with the world wonder, Big Brother Phase 1 music. Um, I'm so excited, but that was even more of a motivation, to be on time and be here when he shows up because essentially that's one of the jewels that we that we should be picking up along the way as we making our crowns for ourselves. Um, is that part of the way that we value each other and we show each other that we value each other is by showing up, and showing up on time and being poignant and or communicating when we can't be. You know what I mean? I'm trying to let y'all know what's happening. So here it goes. I've been going through a lot today. Not going through a lot really, but I've been I've been yeah, there we go. Take us in motion. Ow. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here getting some things done things that we need to get done, you know, the things we do to get our work accomplished every day. And just take care of loose ends that's out here and things I need to do. So I got a little lost on time and I was like, yo, let me hurry up and get back. But my laptop died. So it's going to be a couple minutes before I could even do anything on my laptop when I get home anyway. So in that respect, I was like, yo, let me definitely open up this thing. So I'm just going to hit our big brother Facebook quick, see what's good with him. Make sure he got it. All right. See, I hate Instagram, but I love Instagram. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Instagram? If you're not subscribed or tuned into any of our, any of the streaming platforms, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, over your, Periscope over your Twitter, Facebook page, YouTube, whatever. We about to broadcast with Big Brother Phase 1 right now. Right now. And we doing it mobile because that's the clapback. Do what we got to do. So here I am. Let me check the guest. Let me see if he's here. Yeah, he's coming. I know he's coming. My point is, you know, I say all that to say, son, the clapback is real. This is we the clapback. People don't understand what I'm talking about when I say clapback culture, and it's just the way that we live our lives. I've noticed that, as a generation of Huxtables, oh shit, what is this music happening? Do y'all see this? Oh, of course y'all don't see this. Let me see if I can I spin the perspective? Nah, I can't spin the perspective, but I can roll down the window. Y'all can see what I'm seeing. So, oh, my window's down. Duh. That sounds like nothing but musical goodness. I feel to stop just because I know FaZe would appreciate this too, but I don't know if y'all can hear that. Listen, this is Brooklyn, y'all, out the side of my cab window. I know I'm living dangerous, but I mean, being black is dangerous. So, wow, it's really funny how I'm noticing that all the sounds that I heard that I thought was one collective sound was actually a bunch of different sounds. I don't know why I can't see my brother FaZe in his background right now, right now, right now. I don't know if he could see me. That's awesome. Yo, I like everything that technology does for us. Yes, but mobile. Okay. We getting our lives together over here, cause you know what? That's also part of the clapback is recognizing that, like, yo, we all getting our lives together, guys. And I think a takeaway for me, and I don't know like how anybody else feels about this or like whatever the case may be, but um, you know, for me, um, a big takeaway was how I'm treating myself, so I could treat others. And that's just something I've been applying. So I've learned that now with me applying that, like, it's helped so much in how the people in my life treat me and how I treat, myself. And I hope that we're all getting stuff out of this. If you're watching on any platform, I don't know if you are, and I don't even know if this is really streaming or not. I hope it is. But if you're streaming on any platform, holla at me. You send me some questions. Yeah, see. I don't know if you could see me, brother face. You could see me, brother face. I want you to know that I'm trying to reach you. Oh wow, how is it that you're backstage and I'm backstage? We're so. I'm over here recording. It says that I'm in the studio, but I'm not actually in the studio. Maybe I am, and it says like Faze is showing me he's here. It's showing me I'm here. It's showing me that I'm recording, but like here we are, and I can't find him. What the hell is going on? Maybe it's because I didn't set myself up for success. I should have started this while I was in the well, I have my laptop open, right? Because that way I could have joined on my phone and then just kept it going from there. No, I just want I just want my guests to be able to enter. What's up? Yo, I know that I've been like recommending StreamYard. How about this phase? If you hear me, because I really want to get this right. Okay. Uh, Let me see if I can get my laptop open. That's why we do mobile office. Yes, we mobile office it. If you're not having like understanding the value of your mobile office, like dog, the value of your mobile office is come on, baby, come on, let the good times roll. I wonder who this is that's watching. I can't see who's watching either. So I thank you, whoever's tuned in. If you want to talk, if you can talk to me, just you can send me comments and I can see your comments. So you can talk to me that way and I can respond vocally. Person who is watching somewhere, somehow. Hello. We're almost there. We're trying to work it out. My laptop is obviously and completely dead. So here's what we're gonna do. Because I'm getting frustrated at this. Like I don't understand how we can both be here but we're not here. Uh oh, how about that? What if I change the layout? Does that change anything? Now let's see. Let's see what that changes. Absolutely nothing, huh? What that changes is the fact that now I'm not even on my own screen. Well, welcome to my life of figuring it out. I'm your host, Joy Sanchez. God is. I am attempting to make this make sense so that I can see who else is here because I know he's here. I can see he's here. He can see that I'm here. And just a minute ago, it gave me the opportunity to exit solo layout. So in exiting the solo layout, I should be able to now see Faith, yeah? Like that's what I would assume. I can't even make it so he is a in the stream. This is ridiculous, Instagram life. Not Instagram, but you get it. I'm sorry about all the ah, there you go.
Good, was good.
Wow!
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, dog?
I'm chilling,
Son,
chilling. I'm
you're so
chilling.
beautiful. How are you?
I'm very well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Good.
me?
Yeah. Could you hear me clearly? No delays, nothing. Everything is
Yeah,
good.
no delays, no echoes, nothing. I mean, there's a slight echo, but I understand why. You're in my
No.
headphones now, that's why.
All right,
Ah,
cool,
man,
cool.
welcome, welcome.
Straight up, straight up. What's good? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we still here. That's what's good. We still here. You know,
Absolutely.
like this has been the most intense year of my life in general, but just in the world as well. You know, it's one thing to be knowledgeable about what your ancestors went through, to know that like you're aspiring to be like them by the artistry you study and you like, work to define and master for yourself. But then it's another thing to be living through the world that mirrors what they lived through.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
just breathe every day. And I collect stories. I collect stories through Clapback Queens. So welcome, Clapback Queens and Kings. Welcome. You know, thank you so much for kicking it with me because this is just a natural discourse between us as Black folk. I'm trying to collect as many stories as possible because that's all I know to do to not lose my damn mind. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So welcome. Tell me, how are you? How have you been?
I've been cool. You know what I'm saying? I just been on this, self mission through this whole
Mm,
thing. Like, we want to talk about the beginning of this entire shutdown and all that stuff. We can go there, but beginning of the shutdown, I already knew that a good portion of people that were now in this shutdown had never been through chaos before. Like they
mm,
probably, like, like a lot of us come from families that live like either in Caribbean islands or in other continents and things like that where the electricity goes and you got to know how to act, how to do it. You got to know how to have your
mm.
everyday without that. If the water goes, you got to know how to
Yeah, right.
save yourself with water you saved on the side, like, and with my family's background is like I had an opportunity to like witness that and to live in that temporarily to see what that feels like. So when this happened, I kept my cool. Like I was super cool, but then at the same time, I knew that there were going to be people that were going to be running around and trying to tell people what it is that they feel they should be doing, right? Like, hey, we got to do
Mm.
this. We got to be like this during the thing. And I'm like, you got to sit down. That's what you got to do. You got to sit down
Yeah, you
because
gotta sit your ass down.
you got to
Sit your
sit
ass
down.
down.
We're all going through this together, and everybody's like when we all chilling and we having a good time together, it's all good. But when we get back home, that's a whole nother lane of life that we in, and a lot of us don't know the ins and outs of everybody's lane and what they do. So it's like you got people that are truck drivers, you got people that are doctors, mechanics, plumbers. Name the trade, whatever. They're there, right? But then at the same time, they may need that time. They may need that downtime to be home. They may need to just be with their loved ones. They may need to spend time with their son, or
Yeah,
with their
word.
whatever. You know
To
what I
to
mean?
to rest and just rejuvenate and have that strength again. You know what I mean?
It's like it's two sided, right? It's either you suffer through the mild, gray, stormy parts of COVID, or you using that time to do something better, or just to be still and figure it out. You know what I mean? And none of it is wrong. None of it is wrong. I just felt that I needed to just fall back because I wasn't trying to listen to nobody. I was like, look, you probably don't got it
Mm.
figured out either, and you're trying to tell me what I need to do. So I'm like, guess what? If if a bug hits me and I get super creative, then so be it. If a bug doesn't hit me, so be it
Mm.
too. And I'll just
Right.
be still. You know what I mean?
Biggest thing I've been doing with myself is that every day, whatever I could do is enough. So, when I wake up, some days, if I can't get out the bed today, like, yo, Joy, good job. You woke up. Like, you woke up and you letting your body rest. Good job. Things, finding a way to, like, not make anything I do negative in my brain, right? To take that time to, like, correct the self conversation that happens or can be overrun by outside voices, right? And being able to have all this time of quiet and, like, just to breathe. And like you said, take a time out. I feel like the whole world was supposed to be put on a timeout right now because we was like, just as a world, people was doing way too fucking much. As a society, shit was getting out of hand. And like it's reflecting now, but it's like, yo, we needed that timeout. We needed that. I know that for me it was a positive thing. I find that all of the folks who have always been folks that are attempting to cultivate their best self are people that have done nothing but improve and still come out of this. Like, yes, you've hurt and you've gone through pain. You went, like you said, you survived through the struggles of it, but like you transmuted that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't possess you and become all that you are. And I think, that's how, to me, that's the clapback. That's the clapback of you, King. Can I ask? I gotta ask.
What's
The
up?
hair, your
Hmm.
locks.
Hmm.
What's this? I know that's a big move for you, and I just want to know what happened there, or like how you came to that decision there, because I know that wasn't like a happenstance thing. Your locks were damn near to your feet, I believe.
They
Um,
were to my calves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and
But
you a tall dude. You're not my height. I know that.
6'1", 6'1", you know what I mean? So that means that it's, it's technically around, it's around your height. You know what I mean? Like, if just if you just like hold it next to, but see, here's the thing, right? Like I had it like when we got back from tour, uh, like around December, in December, the person that does it for me, she told me that I had to cut like a little bit off. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Just because of the whole fact of the weight and all that
yeah,
stuff.
it's the health of it too. Right?
Yeah, so I did that, and it was about a foot. Now you understand that that's major for me because I was hyperventilating. I was going crazy. Like I walked out, I needed a drink. I felt like I needed a drink
Oh.
because it's like that was the first time that had ever happened, right?
Mhm.
So then there's that. That's out the way. So now I keep living. I get used to where it's at. It's about like a little bit past the rear end side of things or whatever. And so I'm like, cool. It's still long, but so then, now like 2 weeks ago, though, because I just made 2 weeks uh, yesterday. Um, I was just sitting. I was sitting watching a movie. I was watching Along Came a Spider, Morgan Freeman, and something happened where it felt like my spirit kind of came out of my body, and it felt like it was like another version of
Ashley said,
me.
"Are you scared?" Oh, yeah. I'm
It felt
listening
it
to
felt
you.
like another. All right. it felt like another version of self kind of speaking to me in a way that I would speak to the people. And you know,
Mm.
sometimes you don't understand how militant or how high in integral your voice is when you there and speaking to those that you love around you. But that voice was speaking to me very hard, very stern, but like not trying to hurt me, but it was just talking to me in a certain way. And I had to just sit there, embrace the views, the points. You know, we all know that, you know, in order to allow something new in, you got to put something behind you. So you
Oh
know,
yes.
it look, as a friend told me today, a friend told me today, you can't take the caterpillar with you.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It could only become what it's supposed to become. That's it. And after that, you can mourn it if you want, but now you're all this new thing. So that's what happened. And you know, I'm an Aries. You know, we impulsive in the way of our behaviors, and
Yeah, and y'all committed to that impulse too. Like you
it,
make a decision and you
that's
all
it.
into it. There is
That's it.
no nah, you better get out the way because this wall is coming down, bro. Like
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
I love that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that like as I reflect, I've had this time to reflect and really, really just look at who and how I've been being, you know, because again, I had all this time to like sit by myself and hear other people's voices that just echoed around me. So I had to clear all of that out in order to hear my own voice. And once I sat and I heard my own voice, um, you know, I could reflect on that energy that you carry. That's something I learned how to cultivate over COVID by reflecting on everything I ever learned by the communities I've been a part of, like the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your energy during the time I've known you has definitely been something that I've learned from to be like that in my own life of like, yeah, I gotta make this decision and I gotta be committed to this decision no matter what. Because ain't nobody living my life for me. You know what I'm saying? And I can only be me. Everybody else is taken. I can't be anybody else. So like, why am I over here not hearing my own voice? So and that's something I appreciate about you. Um, how hard has that process been for you? Was that process really? I mean, I feel like you always hear your voice, like if that makes
I do,
sense.
but this was different. It's like I do, but this was different. And I'll tell you why. Like because when I finally was conceding to the spirit saying whatever it was saying, you know, I was like, I think I might do it. And then he was like, think you might. If you're gonna do it, you better hit up your homegirl right now. Tell her it's done, like it's going down. So I immediately grabbed it, and if and once I pressed send, I already knew it was real. Once I pressed send on that message,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like it just went like this, like my spirit went like it blurred and it just went like kind of like you know if you puff, you know, like once your head knows that it's there, you know what I mean? That's how my spirit felt at the time. And then after that, I only told about 3 to 4 people because I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
nobody to kind of like be swaying my thoughts or whatever. And then I did it, and then I just posted, you know, I posted a story of just me holding them. You know what I mean? I
Oh
just held
wow.
them, and I didn't show my face. I just held it, and I just said, you know, I said new cocoon, new butterfly, end of an era, and I put the date next to it, and that
Nice.
was that. So you know, the DMs was lit up, but you know, at the same time, there was a lot of curious people because, of course, they're like, yo, I've only known this side of Faith. But at the
Right.
same time, I needed the time. You know what I mean? And I still
Yeah.
need time. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's you know 22 years of holding something,
Mm.
of holding experiences. Like my entire
Mm.
manhood, in a sense, is in that. You know what I mean? So that now here I am in this new stage of life, and it's like a baby. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you gotta kind of nurture it, feed it, and then let it start taking steps so it can start
Mm-hmm.
exploring the world. So that's basically what I've been doing. I've been taking the time. You know, my heart guided me and said, "Look, do this, do these things to try to reveal it in this way for the people to
Right.
let them know that there's a narrative to why this is very
Right.
important. This isn't like a
Right.
vanity thing. This isn't like
Right.
look how pretty I look. No, this is not has nothing to do with that. That all comes
This is a
later. Like you know,
serious like thought, you
yeah,
know,
it's like if
and
you like for
process.
example, if you lock your hair, right, it still goes through a cocoon process, right? It goes through a stage before it looks in a way that people could start complimenting you and saying what it is. So it's the same way out. It's the same way in, same way out. You know what I mean? So, now I'm here, and I'm curious. I'm intrigued at what life will bring, and I'm still phased. I'm still world wonder. But just with a twist. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I also feel like you said, I think people and things and places, we all evolve, Something, again, a big takeaway for like just something for me to carry with me right now in this moment is that like change is constant. Change is the only constant, especially when you're trying to grow. When you're constantly trying to be better, then you should be changing. You should be growing and like um giving yourself over to that lead of like the destruction and creation process where you like you're saying, you gotta make room for your blessings. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make room for new things to come. I like recently cleaned my apartment, and I was like really struggling, or rather I was very blocked creatively with some project, with the installation project I was working on. And like the minute I cleaned my apartment physically, like mentally my blocks kind of disappeared. You know what I mean? And I've always likened it, my hair process to that too, where like my locks are still somewhat on top, but I started combing them out on the side. Um, and it feels right. It feels right
Mhm.
to be able to have this hair that changes as much as I do, that I can do anything with. Is like a connection to my soul, the belief in my soul right now, where like I really am good, believing that I can do anything. Like I have that fluidity, and it kind of comes through. And speaking of fluidity, I see you still rocking the black nails. So shout out to your life, bro.
Oh, nah, nah. This ain't black. This is green. This is green.
Oh, get that shmoney, that kale.
And this is this like blackish with gold sprinkles. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, you got the
but
flex on them.
you
Ah.
know, but just to like speak about that. You know,
Please,
uh,
yes.
at first, right? This is what it was like. Big up to Lenny Reese, the Ox. Back in 2015, when he had started touring with DJ Premier, he one time he came up to me and he was like, "Yo, FaZe, I promise you that you're gonna be heard, and I'm gonna make sure that the world sees who you are."
Mm,
And guess what? A few years later, we got to see a good portion of the world, and he kept it to what he said. No one's perfect, but he followed his word and he did that. So he used to paint his nails. He even encouraged like Jonathan to even get more in his bag, in regards to like, expressing what he feels inside of him. And I did this initially as a physical thank you for him, you know what I mean? Because he knows
mm,
that this is something I would have never done.
right,
So
on your
in
own.
me doing that, that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like me saying, look, I did this. This is like me showing you love. And that's part one. And then, and eventually I just started liking it and I kept doing it. However, I also do it as a kind of like a stance against toxic masculinity, because it's
Thank
like
you.
if you know, like if you know me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm super manly. I'm super like, whatever I walk around in
You're
in that
super
in
hip
that
hop. I
stance.
would say you're super hip hop. Like,
Yeah,
and
super
for
hip
me,
hop.
that's definitely one of the things that like I always um took a mental note of. It's like the fact that you did something as small as painting your nails in solidarity with the people that you love. In an atmosphere that does not support their identities fully. You know what I'm saying? We're still trying to pull that toxicity out of. And so to me, it always meant a lot that you did this. And not only that you did it quietly. And so you were always willing to have a conversation about it if somebody asked, but like you always did it quietly because I saw that progression of it becoming something that you personally liked, that you personally, integrated into your phase identity. You know what I mean? And I just love if you could talk a little bit about that as well.
In regards to what exactly? I'm sorry. I was what the exact question.
Just like the incorporation of it into your hip hop persona, you know what I mean? Because like you said, there's a lot of toxic. I have always, everybody knows, I always talk about the toxic masculinity that's in hip hop, and I love hip hop to the day I die. You know what I mean? But like, I'm an MC that has to, like, all of lots of people that have to exist within the love of hip hop, while also sometimes being uncomfortable by the way we're offended in it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And your actions of doing it quietly, I wanted to know how that played into your
Oh,
process.
okay. So so it like you said, started quietly, and then eventually it was just black. And then eventually after that, like, certain friends were like, yo, FaZe, you should go here, you should go there. And at first I felt a little uncomfortable at first. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, after that I just said, the hell with it. If this is what I'm doing, then I can be as loud as I want, I could be as quiet
Mm,
as I want, I can be whatever. It shouldn't be subjected to a specific color that makes it cool for me to do it. Like, I rock anything I want to rock. I rock purple, I rock neon, I rock whatever. If that's what I want to do, then that's what I do. You know what I mean? But I incorporate it in my style, and everybody knows that everything I do is with intent. It's never
mm-hmm.
just, you know what I mean? It signifies something. So if you see something like a new, like, kind of style of fashion, a whole new this, understand that that's my mind just really expanding and feeling comfortable in a new type of place or new skin that I'm in, and I'm just trying to inspire. Because, like, I live in the Jacks, so it's like there's a certain kind of toxic mentality that's in the Jacks. So if I
Facts.
if I come outside with some bright ass pants and kicks and nails painted and whatever, it's like that could give anybody like a certain kind of view and say, yo, is he, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, go ahead, you can ask if you want. I'll tell you what it is, you know what I'm saying? But, it's like I just had to, it's like it's part of the evolution that I feel that was going on with me from the tail end of last year into where we at now. Because it's going to be now
Yeah.
like a year. It's going to make a year since in October since I started doing this. You know what I mean? So, it's like you just gotta, at a certain point, you gotta just separate from the pack. If if you matter to you, eventually you
Mm,
have to separate from the pack, because there's gonna be people regardless that are gonna feel what they feel about you, and it could sting, it could hurt, but you have to somehow and you say, that's okay.
that's
I'll
so
deal
bad.
with it. I'll deal with it on my own way, even if it hurts. I'll deal with it, you know what I mean? And I'll proceed going forward. But I guarantee you that what they don't understand now, and maybe ridicule or joke or do whatever, in a year or two, they're gonna go, damn, now I get why. And that happens all
Mm.
the time. No one can say that don't happen to them. That happens
Yo,
all the time. You know what I mean? So that's
real talk. Today, sorry, today, like right before I started broadcasting. Matter of fact, I posted on my Instagram this meme that says, first they'll ask you why you did it, and then they'll ask you how you did it. You know what I'm saying?
that's very ill.
And like you saying that right there, just that's just a see.
See, and look at something. I was in the gym earlier today in the morning, and I was listening to this Breakfast Club interview with this pastor, right? And he's a young pastor, and he said change and comfort cannot exist in the same place. And
I gotta
that's
get time. Just run that back one more time because I missed the first few words.
all right. This is going to be connected with another gym. Okay, so he said change and comfort cannot exist in the same place.
Woo!
That's one, right? That's one. And then two is, if you ask for growth, do not demand for perfection. That's two.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? So if you take it all together, you're going to say, hey, change and comfort do not exist in the same place. And if you ask for growth, you cannot demand for perfection, because those two cannot also exist in the same place. You see what I'm saying? And that's yo, that's been the motto that I've been living by in the last couple months. After I cut my locks, the thing that stays in my head is, to have is to know. I had that. I know what it is, to what it feels like to have it. There's so many people that they don't show a lot of value into the hair growth of locks. They don't know the discipline it takes, the maintenance that it takes, the rough trial and error that you go through in your process. You know what I mean? They don't know about that. So it takes the people that live it to explain it and help them understand. But I'm not here to, like, if you're like ignorant and stubborn to the ideal, then I'll leave you over there and I'll be over here. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's like that's what it is. It's a very spiritual process when it comes to any kind of change or progression that you make. It's very deep and very spiritual. Like, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's in a Buddhist, Christian, Judaic, like Judaism, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Hello? Are you there? Are you still there? Talk to me. Talk to me. Say that. Yes, yes.
I'm
Here
here.
we are.
I'm here.
Yes, I'm working on like this between this whole thing by just being on my laptop and not my phone. Even though my phone has a way better picture. I lost you. I think about 5 minutes ago.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
You had just we had just finished talking about uh the incorporation of the nails and doing what you want to do and how you have to separate from the pack if you're ever gonna, you know, be
Okay.
yourself.
Okay, so, and I gave you the two quotes. So I gave you the two quotes, which is, change and comfort do not exist in the same
Right.
place. And
And
then there's
comfort
also,
is.
and then also, if you ask for growth, you cannot demand for perfection. So if you put those two things together, change and comfort do not exist in the same place. And if you ask for growth, do not demand perfection. Like, you got to use those things together, because every you got to understand, like, every transformation, every whatever, is a spiritual process. I don't care what you believe in, it is. Any change, it is. And for me, my most recent change, I saw a lot of like, when all this stuff started happening during COVID, a lot of people started stop being friends because they started seeing the realness
Woo!
in others. It's like,
Yes.
so for me, in the recent change that I have with my locks, I can see the ignorance or the stubborn knowledge that somebody may have, because they don't understand the lifestyle or the discipline within it. Like, it's not, like, I always tell people, when you make a big decision in your life, anything that has to do with vanity comes later. It's always like number two or number three, just like
Right.
ego. Ego's always supposed to be in the driver's seat, in that not in the passenger seat, not the driver's seat, because it's blind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I saw a lot of the people that didn't understand, didn't comprehend. So I had to kind of leave them where they were at. And that's the same way that I have to deal with anything else in life. You got to set your boundaries. You got to be like, look, you cannot cross this.
Right.
You
You can't
you
like this.
you
You
can't
cannot talk to me this way.
you can't do that. Like it's almost like this. It's like if I had, like, for example, when I had the hair, it doesn't mean that anybody could just walk up and touch it. You see what I'm saying? Just like if I take it off, it doesn't mean that anybody could just come and hold it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to respect the privacy, my presence, and whatever I got going on here, because this is protected by whatever it is I'm feeding it. I don't need extra energy unless it's supportive energy. You know what I mean? And that's how I live my life. You know what I mean? Like music, you know, any type of creative outlet that I extend myself. That's how I am. If you're here to put a hand in the bag and not help build the bag, I can't have you. I can't have you here. I can't have you here. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a mission.
All right, give me 10 seconds. Because my laptop's muted.
There's a mean echo on your side.